Sam Monson, Steve Palazzolo from the Check the Mic podcast, talking about if they believe that the Browns will roll with Shedeur Sanders as QB1.
Detractors will say the stats were awful. This is the worst QBR we've ever seen, and different things. And then fans will say, like, young King is ready to break out. Right? There's a happy middle ground where we stand, where it's like it's better. It was better than the stats. We thought he was a first-round prospect. It was an awful situation that was bad for Flacco and Dylan Gabriel and everyone else. Like, is there a world where they just say, look, we're gonna roll with Shedeur Sanders?
My assumption would be no, that they're not going to roll with Shedeur Sanders. I think last season showed that a big variable in this is what they think the locker room will stand. Like, Joe Flacco started last season basically because I don't think they thought they could go into the year starting Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders as the only two quarterbacks on the roster. Like, I think they thought the veterans on that team would basically riot if they went into that. So it's like, we start Flacco for a month. He looks like an NFL quarterback. He's done it in the past. He's got some gravitas to him. Myles Garrett will buy that for a month, right? And then we turn it over to two young guys, and that's the deal. I don't know what that locker room thinks of Shedeur Sanders, right? Like, that's the interesting variable. Do they believe that the kid's got this swag and that he's actually, he's a young quarterback, sure, he's going to make some mistakes, but actually he's got a little moxie to him, and maybe he is the answer going forward? If they believe the locker room thinks that, maybe they'll give it a go for a year.
That's a good question, and we don't know what the locker room thinks. Anybody who says they do, kidding themselves. We heard a little bit with Myles saying yeah, and Denzel saying yeah, but it was a soft yeah.
Well, I would say this, especially with Todd Monken being an older coach. And, Todd Monken reminds me of my dad with that gritty kind of old, crusty, do things my way. And I love those kind of coaches. And I will say this without hesitation. He doesn't care what the locker room thinks. Now, the reason I say that, it's not that he's going to go against the locker room, but this is Todd Monken's team. He's waited a long time to be the head coach, so he's going to decide what happens. Now, that'll become with work, and I think what everybody will understand is that the best guys are going to play. And part of when you got rid of Kevin Stefanski, everything is up in the air. And people don't want to hear about Deshaun Watson. He'll be in the mix as well. So will Shedeur Sanders. So will Dylan Gabriel. If Dylan Gabriel is not, I think the system fit him better last year. I'm high on Dylan Gabriel still, and I still think he can be a good pro quarterback. Now, the thing with Shedeur Sanders, he's got to protect the football. And when you're an old school coach, you want to protect the football first, and that's the first thing he's got to do. I do agree with the idea that people live in the extremes with Shedeur Sanders. Again, I've said this many a time. He's either going to be all pro by next Tuesday, or he's going to be the worst quarterback in the history of the world. And the reality is, it's going to be in the middle. And he did some really impactful things, and he made a bunch of mistakes. And hopefully with Todd Monken, he can correct those. And Todd Monken's a players over plays, so he's going to put him in good positions. It's not a system. It's a players driven offense. So I think he'll be in the mix. I think people got to be open to the fact that Todd Monken might want somebody absolutely new, or Todd Monken absolutely loves him. We don't know that. And to judge anything before the players play is something I don't do. I look forward to seeing what he can do with all three of these quarterbacks, and I think he'll get the most out of all of them, regardless who the starter is.